All right, I got the list here for every DIY homeowner out there. This is the tools from Harbor Freight that you're going to regret not buying. This is the top 10, and it's a bit more than top 10. The list went a little long. These are often what I refer to as my I told you so tools. So if you don't want to see this face saying I told you so, you better check out this list. So let's jump into it. First one I'm going to talk about is the Bauer 20-volt cordless 3/8 right angle drill. Now, Bauer is a fantastic line for the DIYer. They're comparable with the Ryobis out there in the world, but instead of having to fight your way through Home Depot, you can just go over to Harbor Freight and get them. They're reasonably priced. And this tool, Bear Tool, is $40. And a lot of you are like, I'm not going to need a right angle drill. You need to stop right there. Because yes, you will. As a homeowner, there will be a time where you need a right angle drill. All right. And as a DIYer, you're going to come into some situation where you need a right angle drill. But don't think of it as just a drill. Okay. You can put a drill bit in it. Guess what? You can put a bit adapter in it also. Nothing's stopping you from putting an extension with a Phillips in there, or even just a little Phillips bit so you can get in there. I've done a lot of assembly situations where I had to get in there and I'm like, I need a right angle bit and I didn't have one, and this saved the day on many a time. There's a lot of other tools. What, you want to run, you don't want to buy a right angle ratchet? You can put an adapter on this and you can run. I mean, it's not going to be an impact wrench, but neither is the electric ratchets that are out there. But for $40, you can do virtually the same thing. Yes, you're not going to have quite as small of access, but this is a one tool that does a ton of stuff, and that's what the DIYer and the homeowner really need. Now, next up here, we're going to be talking about the Bauer 10 amp deep cut variable speed bandsaw. Yes, Harbor Freight has the Hercules, and the Hercules is fantastic, but 9 times out of 10, and I keep telling people this, the blade is more important than the tool. It's just like if you have a cheap car and you put good tires on it, you will be stunned how well it drives and stops. All right. You get yourself a really good blade and you put it on this tool and it will cut like butter. And on top of that, I mean, for $110, and of course, we always try to shop for the sale prices, which are going to move this sub $100 easily. But you want to add this and take this thing to the next level to an A, even S tier tool. You add the Hercules portable bandsaw benchtop stand onto it. This allows that tool to be used in the vertical and horizontal position, and it's a game changer. And this thing goes on sale for sub $100 as well, which means for $200, you have 3 tools in one. You have the portable tool, plus you've got the vertical tool, and you've got the horizontal tool. It's a game changer. It really is. Let's keep going here. Next up, we've got the Bauer variable speed bench grinder. Every home shop should have a bench grinder. There's tons of stuff from, sharpening chisels to, grinding down, of course, the old, the lawnmower blades and stuff like that. This is the one you need to get here. It's $140 list, but of course we're going to wait for the sale price. It's going to drop it down quite a bit here, at least 20%. And then it's variable speed. Plus, it's got the great new gooseneck on it with the LED light that really gets right to the spot, lets you see what you're doing, unlike the old, incandescents here, and you got to screw in the bulb and you burn your freaking fingers on it. You know what I mean? The LED just makes it so much easier. And variable speed, this is it. This is the one and done for the home gamer. It kind of ticks all the boxes. You can go more expensive. You can always spend more money. But the reality is, for most people, they're not going to need more than what this can do. Now, after this, the detail sander. Unless you are a serious woodworker and you're using a detail sander daily, you would be surprised. Surprised, I say, at how long this thing will last. I bought one. I needed one last minute, and I just wanted to grab something quick. And I had it. It's the old Chicago Electric. It's not even the Warrior. Maybe it is the Warrior. I don't know. Maybe it was when they first came out. I've had it for years. And it just won't die. All right. Now, granted, I'm not a serious woodworker. I'm not, making benches and stuff every day and having to get in there and go around wood pegs and do all the detail stuff. But when I need it, it always steps up. It does the job. Is it the most vibration dampening machine out there? No. But it's $20 list, and it's so much less than that when it goes on sale. I think it's like $14, something like that. This is just for the average person who's not often going to need a detail sander, but every so often you have to get in there and get those little parts. this is the tool that will do it. Now, after this, we're going to talk about this one, the Chicago Electric rotary tool. Don't call it a Dremel, because Dremel gets mad when you do that. My son actually bought this for a project and left it in the shop, and I've ended up using it way more than he does. And again, it's one of these tools that if you're not using it every day, it's surprisingly competent. It's not the smallest thing out there, and I think they even have a picture here. It's showing you, but it is, fits in the palm of your hand. It's got a ton of power for the price on this sub $20 list. That's the list price, not even talking about the sale price. And for the home gamer DIYer, you will go a long time before you need to replace this. And if you really want to get serious about it, at that kind of price, you can afford to get the 2-year extended warranty, and then run this sucker ragged, put it away wet, and when it dies, they'll give you a new one. All right, next up, we got the Bauer 6-gallon wet dry vac. I got to tell you, we compared the Bauer vacs against Rigid. Now, let's hold up. Rigid for a long time was the just de facto job site wet dry vac. It just was the go-to one. They have, and this happens with companies. Once they get to a point of that the name just carries them, they go, all right, it's time to make some money off of this. And they pull back the quality slowly and slowly, hoping people don't notice as they bank, their bank account gets higher and higher. And that's kind of what's happened over at Rigid, because not only has Bauer passed them, Craftsman's passed them, and DeWalt has just just flown past them. I love my DeWalt. I'm a huge DeWalt fanboy when it comes to the Stealth Sonics, but not everyone's going to spend $100, $150 on a wet dry vac. And for most of you, you don't really need it. But if you want that, best bang for the buck, I still recommend, if you can afford the Stealth Sonic, get the Stealth Sonic. But bang for the buck at $55, not including the sale price, this is just an all-around better wet dry vac than the Rigid. And I know some people are out there, but the Rigid's got the warranty. Does it though? Because a lot of those, especially the NXT or NT, whatever the new ones are, a lot of them don't. And even if they do, Rigid, they have a track record of not actually standing behind that warranty, a little too often there. And people are like, well, if it only happens every so often. Well, if it happens 1 in 5, 1 in 10, do you want to roll the bones that 1 in 10 times your tool's not going to be covered? That's not a warranty. That's gambling. Anyway, let's keep going here. Next up, we've got the Warrior 1500 dual tip heat gun. Now, again, this is one where I'm a fan of the Bauer. I think the Bauer's got more features. It's got more, it's flat, so you can sit it down on a surface and work hands-free with it. It's an all-around better heat gun, but it's also like $36. This thing's $20, goes on sale all the time for like $12, $14. And it does a fine job. And for 99% of the people out there, it's going to do more than you really need. And if you do need to use it hands-free, put it in a vise or something, or get a C-clamp on it and clamp it to the workbench. You'll probably be fine. And it's really hard for me to sit there. I hate being that guy telling people to buy, spend more money when you don't really need it. It's nice to have, be able to just set the Bauer one down and go hands-free with it. Yes, it's great. But honestly, for how often I use a heat gun, I should, it's a luxury. I should probably be buying this one. All right, and let's keep going. The socket sets. We just had a debate over in the Facebook group. If you're not a member of the Facebook group, you're missing out. Trust me, I hate Facebook as much as the next person. I'm only there for some of my local friends and the Facebook group here for the Den of Tools. Go check it out. It's a group. It's not just me posting stuff. It's people answering questions, going back and forth. Take a look at it. But that said, people are asking, all the time asking, what's the best socket set out there? Whether it's Impact or Chrome, what's the best bang for the buck? And I'm going to tell you right now, I rank them as Quinn, Tecton, and Gear Wrench in that order. Now, you can go back and forth and people say, well, the Tecton's cheaper because it's on sale right now. Okay, we'll find, but when Quinn goes on sale, they're a lifetime warranty. You can get exchanged at any Harbor Freight store, which I think is like 1,600 stores now. There's almost always one within a stone's throw of where you are. And they have that old Sears-esque kind of warranty. You come in, you slap it down, and they'll crack up on another set and get you a replacement. That's the way it is. And if you lose one, a lot of people don't realize this. A lot of times you can go to their parts department, call them up and be like, hey, I need the 10 millimeter. It grew legs and walked off again. And they're like, really, Steve? Again? But they'll send you one. You got to pay for it, but you can get them, so you're not just losing out on those. That said, the Quinn is still just the go-to, and we have the Impact. They have it in the half inch. They have it in the 3/8. Somebody asked me about quarter inch Impacts. There's just people make them, they sell them. I don't know. I've not seen a compelling argument about why you need a quarter inch. If somebody can make a compelling argument down below in the comments, I'll be happy to read it and look into it. But I haven't seen one yet. But next, also, then we got to talk about the chrome ones. Now, those do come in quarter inch, 3/8, and half inch. They're absolutely fantastic. Of course, wait until there is a sale price on them. But the case they come in, the overwhelming amount of sockets you get, it's insane that you can get this, professional grade tools at DIY prices. It is a golden age of tools that we're living in. All right, next up, we got to talk about the screwdriver sets. I love my screwdrivers, and I'm always talking about what the best screwdriver is and what this screwdriver is. But I keep going back to these Quinn sets as, you know what? They're just bang for the buck. They're hard to beat. They're right on there on par with the Cobalt set that's very similar to this. Similar in quantity and style, feel in the hand, as well as price. But if I have to warranty something, I would much rather warranty it through Harbor Freight than having to go through Lowe's. And don't get me wrong, I love Lowe's. Lowe's is a great store to shop at. Yeah, this is the set I would recommend. All right, an Icon. I debated hard because I wanted to include like all the Doyle wrenches, or not wrenches, but the Doyle pliers and all the Icon pliers, which are all fantastic. But again, we're not trying to push people for stuff. I'm not trying to go for that premium level. We're trying to go for the stuff that's best bang for the buck for the DIY or homeowner kind of person. But this is one you might want to splurge on, because once you hold a pistol grip set they have the long nose, then they have the regular grabbing kind of pliers. Once you get those, even at $20, it's just sheer luxury. It's so nice. It feels so good. It's one of those aha moments where you're like, that's what he was talking about. I get it now. I understand. And before you didn't, but you will. Once you pick these up and you use them, you'll understand. And again, when you get that sale price, especially when Harbor Freight does that, 10, 20, 30%, everything under $20, that's the one right there, all right? All right, let's keep going. We've got the Pittsburgh 12-inch quick release clamp bars. All the clamp bars, not necessarily the 12-inch, all these F-style clamps like this. Whether you're using them for woodworking around the house or welding, you can take the little rubber pads off. They work great with welding and all sorts of stuff. People mod them for all sorts of things. These are a no-brainer. And look at the members' sale price on this. $3 on that. But the other one I want to talk about is the quick release. Stay away from the gray ones, the cheap gray. I don't even know if they have a name. I think the name on it is trash. But get the Bremen. The Bremen's just so much better. I know it's a little bit more expensive, but again, when they have that everything under $20 sale, this is a stock up item on it. All right, now this is one a lot of people, man, what happened? Every old guy I knew had a set of these. It was a standard. You could walk in some guy's shop, look around, look for the little red box. Oh, there it is. And there's the letter number stamp kit. What has gone wrong with you people? Who doesn't have one of these days? You're looking at quarter inch now. They have these in 3/8 and 1/8 and 1/4. So you get three different sizes. This is, I think, the mid size. You're looking at $13. And you're getting 36 pieces with this. And you can, like stamping keys, stamping tools, stamping all sorts of stuff. Whether to mark it as your own or mark it like when it got replaced, that's one thing. I know a lot of guys do that. Like, I replaced this part, I can stamp a date into it. So next time when I come back and I'm like, hey, I wonder if this is the part that's going bad. When was the last time I put that in there? Oh, look, I stamped the date right on it. So there's a lot of great uses for stuff like this. And at $13, there's just no excuse why you don't have one. All right, let's keep going. Then we got the Quinn shop shears. Stop stealing your wife's scissors. I don't care if it was in the sewing kit and it was just laying there quietly and she hasn't used it in months. She will murder you, okay? Don't do it. Here's the other half of this. Don't let her hold these. Don't let her like, oh, hey, sweetie, you want to try my scissors? No. Because you will lose your scissors. Ask me how I know. All right, so anyway, $10 scissors, they're phenomenal. They really are. And I feel like a schmuck sitting here ranting and raving about scissors, but they're one of those tools that once you use them, then I get to say I told you so. And I've got a dance that goes with it. You don't want to see the dance. All right? Don't make me do the dance, all right? Just buy the scissors. All right, let's keep going. We got the one drawer service cart. What a great tool. 130 bucks, even 130 bucks. Oh, wait, there's something wrong with this one. There, fixed it. All right, so anyway, this is, and I'm a big fan of take the tool to the work rather than the work to the tool. And especially when you're working on cars, it's a lot easier than taking like your F-150 over to the workbench. Just don't try it. But it's, I mean, every time I work on a vehicle, I'm loading this thing up, and it's like my go-to. I just grab everything I need and put it over there. I got the drawer, I got the big parts down below, or take a part off. I can work on the top. I can replace. They're great tools, and they get used every single project. They really do. And for 100, like they go on sale, I think around $100. For $100, it is a no-brainer, and you can color match it to about anything. They've got 8 different colors. We got red, we got slate gray, and the slate gray on the website does not do it justice. It's beautiful. We got the black, basic black. If you're a basic, you know what. We got the green, got the orange. I'm feeling feisty this week. Can you tell? We got the yellow, and of course the imperial white. You know, you got to go with that one. All right, let's keep going. This is a jack that I am 100% guilty of ignoring on the channel. And it's not that I have bias against it. It's that I have big trucks. I do. I've got a Ford Expedition XL. I've got a Suburban. I've got a Lincoln Navigator. I've got 2 Nissan Armadas. Every single one of those big 4x4 SUVs with a huge 8-cylinder. I do have one 6-cylinder vehicle. It's a Ram 3500 Cummins diesel. Yeah, I don't use this, all right, or this. There we go. I can get the directions on this. But for the average American the average vehicle in the United States weighs around 2 tons. And you're not lifting up the entire vehicle. So one of these aluminum jacks, and I'm saying the aluminum ones because they're so much lighter than the steel jacks. Steel jacks, even the basic Pittsburgh 3-ton, it's a straight up boat anchor, all right? It's a pain to lug around. You will be like, and I'm saying this thing like super light, but compared, you'll be like, this thing's nothing. I love this. It's even got a nice little carry handle on the side. So if you're like in a situation where you got to take it to the track, you're going to go work at a buddy's house, maybe you don't have a permanent garage and you got to keep it up in your apartment and take it down. This is a go-to, even if you want to just carry it in your vehicle. It's $110, not on sale, and it will lift most vehicles, at least one corner of it, so you can change the tire or work on what you need to do. It's a great tool and often overlooked on this channel, and I apologize for that. All right, next up, this is my biggest I told you so tool out there. They have and they've just updated with the new version. So this is the 1,000 pound, and they have a 500 pound for about $100 less, maybe even 110, 120 bucks less. But I like the 1,000 for 2 reasons. A, it lifts higher. B, it has this little bar down here you click on, and if you click on that bar, this handle folds flat. So once you lower this, you fold that flat, it's easy to put it in the back of a truck or a car, slide it under a workbench and out of the way when you're not using it. Although I'll be honest, I have 2 in my shop right now. One of them has stuff on it. The other one I use as a work table. Just, constantly putting stuff on, take stuff off all the time. These are fantastic tools. And again, I know there's a bunch of you sitting there going, well, that's just not for me. I'll never use it. But you're wrong. You're just wrong. First of all, work smart, not hard. Second of all, you're going to hurt your back eventually. You're going to get older and older and older. And one time too many, you're going to lift that. Because, if you're like me, I used to be able to lift an ox without breaking a sweat. And then, a few years ago, I went to grab something and do that old little heave-ho that I normally did. And I went to heave and I went, ooh, I got lucky. Because I went to do it and my back was like, yeah, a little twinge. I'm like, oh, you know what? It might be that time that I didn't try to actually put myself in the hospital. And I've known a lot of people who've had back surgery. And I think one person was like, I'm all good after back surgery. Now, did they help people? Yes, but they're almost never perfect after it. Don't screw up your back, brothers. Trust me, it's a lifestyle thing, and just get the cart. Don't make me do the dance, all right? Anyway, the Hallmaster triple ball trailer hitch mount. This is one I drug my feet on. I see all sorts of my friends and stuff. They all have one of these, and I'm like, yeah, I don't really need something like that. I needed something like that. I got to the point where, once you start, like you got one little utility trailer, like I just got one little utility trailer, it'll be fine. it's a slippery slope. Once you get one, then you get a slightly bigger trailer, then you get the camping trailer, and then next thing you know, you're hauling hay bales. And no, it's just get this thing, because it's a universal for like, oh, I'm going to snatch this thing and drag it over there. You get the hook on it. I need to move my utility trailer. I get this. I'm going to move my smaller, utility cart or something. I get the other, spin it and get that one. I got a buddy who's like, hey, I got a small card trailer. Can you pull it for me? Let's rotate it again. And then we got that. You got all of it for $40. All right. Am I going to haul my big RV trailer with this? No, I'm not going to do that. But for all the miscellaneous stuff, I mean, I just looked in my truck bed, and I have probably 4 hitches in there. And I finally bought one of these, and I never have to hunt for the hitch again. All right. It's just for $40. And then when 20% off sale, okay, just get this. You're going to need it. All right. This one is just, I'll be honest, it's a little tedious to set up. But if you're having to do work yourself, now whether you're moving a ton of mulch or some gravel or some, topsoil or whatever you've got in the bed of your truck, if you're doing the job yourself, don't get up there with a shovel and spend forever trying to unload it. This is the tool you need, all right? And then you don't have to worry about getting your kids to come down and help you, or trying to get your buddy to come over who said he's going to come over for the past 3 weekends and still hasn't done it. $55, not even on sale. This is another one of these be safe, not sorry kind of tools. Ratchet straps are great, but when you're hauling a bunch of miscellaneous stuff, whether it be in the back of your truck or whether you're in a utility trailer or something, and I've been there many a time, and I learned about these, and I was like, this is a miracle. Because rather than trying to get, okay, this strap's got that one, and this strap's got that one, but if this shifts, then I got to have a bungee cord. No, you just throw a cargo net over the whole thing, cinch it down, and it all just stays. All right, they're just so much simpler and easier, and then you don't have to worry about anything flying out of the highway and catching a lawsuit or hurting somebody or losing something that's important to you. They have them in different sizes as well. Again, this is one of my I told you so thing. Once you start using one of these, you won't go back. Yes, they're a pain to keep straight after you've used them and they get all tangled and stuff. You got to get them untangled. It's not that hard, all right? Compared to how hard it is to make sure everything's strapped down, we can just throw one of these over it. Get the cargo net. It's a game changer. All right, the Predator 5000 watt. I was hesitant to include this because I'm not trying to include a lot of the top tier stuff. But with your camping or RVing or home backup, this one will do it all. It's dual fuel, it's remote start, it's super quiet, inverter with the pure sine wave. This is it. This is the go-to. It's become the default choice at most RV parks, and trust me, when I see them on all the food trucks around here. I see them at all the campgrounds. I see them at all, like we went to a hill climb event. We're at the motor vehicle park. This is what people are bringing, because when it came time to upgrade, this is the go-to. 5,000 dual fuel. Now, granted, 5,000 watt, when they rate them at max capacity, so it's going to be a little bit less. And if you run on propane, it's going to be a little bit less again. But it's got the wheel kit built in. It's got the extending handle on it. You can hook them up in parallel together for more power. The remote control, and again, I always said the remote control was stupid until I got one. I'm like, yeah, it's actually pretty nice. And when they go on sale, they're just the go-to one. They just are. All right, and then we got the Braun light. Now, I know there's the Icon light, and there's a lot of people like, do you get the Braun light? Do you get the Icon light? And I was like, I thought I had one right here. I usually do. I usually have it stuck right to my cabinet. I wonder what I did with it. But it's the kids grabbed it and were using it for something. This is the one I usually end up grabbing. I like the Icon light. In fact, it's probably over here in my thing right here, and it's not there either. Well, I just lose all the way around. They're around the shop here somewhere. But I like the Icon light, but it's hard to justify, unless you're a professional mechanic, it's hard to justify the price jump between this. It's light, it's easy, it flips around, it sticks to everything magnetically. And then people are like, well, you can't change the battery. You can change the battery. Yes, you have to take the thing apart and then, unclip the battery and solder new leads onto it. Yeah, I get that. You're going to have to buy a battery that has leads on it, right? Because you can't just solder directly to a 21700 cell, battery. But it can be done, and it's not that hard. And anybody who's watching this video should be able to do something like that. At $30, especially when it goes on sale for sub $20, it's a great universal light. It just really is. All right, let's keep going. We got the Union safe here. Trying to find affordable, small document safes like this. And I know I can hear the I told you so's. Well, actually, it's not really a safe. It's a cabinet, a security RSC cabinet or something. Nobody cares. Dude, Steve, nobody cares. It's a safe. All right? We all know what it is. It's a safe. I don't care what some bureau has made as far as definitions. It's a safe. All right? Then move along. All right? And trying to find these smaller value priced ones really hard. All right? They used to be all over. They've been disappearing. And it's not the best appointed one, but it's good enough. And at the price, $630, you get 25% off if you're lucky. That's a really good deal. And it's a nice little safe for, your home document storage. All right. Trust me, I've had bigger ones. I had the Canon, like the big giant wide body one that was just fantastic and had plush interior. You wanted to move into it like an apartment. It was great. But now we're in a smaller house and I don't have a space for one big one. So we've got two this size, his and hers. And now I don't have to share any of my space with her as long as I keep telling her no, because it keeps trying to creep over into mine. And I'm like, no. Pretty sure there's still some of her stuff in my safe. Anyway, let's keep going. Next item here. We got a few more here for you. The Harbor Freight bag. They just came out with this. It's a 19-gallon double XL bag. It's 99 cents. This thing, there's so many uses for this. Whether you're shopping, going to the beach, doing laundry, gardening, just they're universal kind of giant. I just got to get all my crap in one bag kind of things. And for 99 cents, grab a handful of them. They fold up super flat, put them on the shelf, and then when you need one, you got one. Stop stealing them from IKEA. Just get one of these and be done with it, or get 5 of them. All right, the Franklin convertible hand truck. Again, I talk about stop breaking your back, get the right tool for the job. This is fantastic because it's not one, it's 2 hand trucks in one. So you can use it in the basic standard dolly style, or you can convert it into the cart style. I have moved countless times using this hand truck, help friends move it because I own a pickup truck, and ergo I'm apparently officially a moving company. Look, I've got a hand truck, I've got a pickup truck, clearly, and I've got a trailer. So I'm clearly here to help all of my wife's friends move. But anyway, it is a ridiculously good tool, and every home should have one. There's just no excuse. Stop trying to hurt yourself. Stop trying to risk damaging your stuff. Just get a hand truck, and especially one like this that converts both ways. There's tons of uses for it. All right, 2 more items. The U.S. General 5 outlet. It's not just for toolboxes, guys. You can use it all sorts of places. It comes in all the colors, including the correct color. All right, the imperial white there. It's got 2 USBs. It's got 4 standard 120s, and it's got one 120 that's offset. So if you have one of those big wall wart plugs, you can plug that in. That said, I use these these battery extensions. I'm reaching down here, grabbing one here. These things. These are fantastic, all right? They're little mini extension cords. They're just over a foot long, and so now I can take everything. I wish I could pan the camera over here and show you, but like I've got all the stuff that has like your typical wall work kind of plug, and you plug it into that, and then it goes into it. So now I don't have to worry about having them all spaced, 6 inches apart. I can plug them all into a standard power strip. So between the 2 of those, that's a great option. In fact, I'll put a link down below to the little mini extension cords if you want. But for $34, and when it goes on sale, and the fact it's magnetic, and it's got the cable wrap built in, and it comes in all the colors, and it's got the 2 USB ports on it. Did I say USB-C before? Your USB-A? Anyway, it's just a no-brainer on those. And the last one is, and I can't find it because the kids stole it again, it's the Harbor Freight hat. I'm sorry, for $7, you can't buy a better quality hat for $7 these days. All the hats out there. My hat. You can go online. There's links down below. You can buy one of these hats. It's not $7. I can't touch it for $7. We're looking to do hats for the off-road park. We're going to be around $30 for hats, and they're not going to be as good quality as this. Harbor Freight is essentially giving these away for free, and and they're good looking hats. They're fantastic. They're you're mowing the yard, doing all sorts of stuff. Stop burning your dome like I do all the time. Get yourself a good hat, all right? Anyway, these are my, must have, I told you so. Don't make me do the dance. You're not going to like what you see there, all right? If you got something that you think I missed, put it down below in the comments. I want to hear about it. And if you like what we do here, go ahead and chomp the old like button, smash that subscribe, ring the bell on the way out. You all take care, God bless, and as always, shine on.